All right, welcome. We're going to break down the essential rules for electrical work here in Florida. Now, if you're new to the trade, getting a handle on this stuff is absolutely crucial, not just for your career, but honestly for your safety and everyone else's. So here's a quick look at what we're going to cover. We'll start with a big picture, why these rules even exist. Then we'll zoom in on the key players on a job site, clear up some really important terms, and wrap it all up with what this means for you and your day-to-day work. Okay, first things first. Let's talk about the why. Why does the state have all these regulations for electrical work? What's the point? Well, the core reason is really simple: safety. I mean, we all know that working with electricity is no joke. It's incredibly powerful and, let's be honest, it can be extremely dangerous. So these standards are here to protect everyone, the public and you, the person doing the work. And this quote right here, it perfectly sums up the goal of the state's official regulatory body, the Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation, or as you'll hear it called, the DBPR. Their entire job is to make sure the system is effective and fair, so that everyone doing this work is competent and, most importantly, safe. Now let's talk about the most central figure in this whole system, the licensed electrical contractor. Understanding this role is key to understanding everything else. So what exactly is an electrical contractor? You know, it's not just a person. It's actually the business that holds the official state license. Think of them as the team captain. They have the legal power to bid on jobs, sign contracts, pull permits, and they are ultimately responsible for every single bit of electrical work the team does. Okay, so if the contractor is the captain holding the license, where does that leave everyone else on the team? How does the whole job site fit together? Let's take a look at the structure. This little chart here lays it out pretty clearly. You've got the contractor right at the top. They're the one holding the license. Working under them, you have your experienced journey workers, then you have apprentices who are in training, and then you have helpers and entry-level techs who are there to assist the crew. Everybody has a very specific part to play. And this is the most important thing to get from all of this: the huge difference between licensed and non-licensed roles. In that whole pyramid we just saw, only one person, the contractor, is licensed. Everyone else, from the most skilled journey worker down to the newest helper, is considered non-licensed. And that means you have to work under the authority of that single contractor's license. All right, these next three terms, they can be super confusing. People mix them up all the time, but legally they mean totally different things. So let's just break them down one by one so it's crystal clear. First up, we have the license. This is the big one. It's the official, mandatory golden ticket from the DBPR that allows a business to legally work for the public. You can't offer electrical services, you can't pull permits, you can't do anything without this. It's the key to the whole operation. Next, let's talk about certification. Now, a certification is a great thing to have. It proves you've got specific skills, maybe you're an expert in solar or something, but, and listen close because this is critical, a certification is not a license. It doesn't give you any legal power to go out and work on your own or sign contracts. Think of it as an extra qualification, not the main ticket to ride. And finally, there's registration. You might run into this at a local level with a city or a county. Really, it's just their way of keeping a list, of tracking who's working in their area. It has nothing to do with a state-issued license from the DBPR, so you should never, ever confuse the two. Okay, let's bring all of this home and focus on what matters most to you. What are your specific responsibilities? What are the legal lines you can't cross as someone new to the field? This is probably the most important question we need to answer. And look, understanding your limits isn't about holding you back. It's all about keeping you and everyone else on that job site safe and on the right side of the law. So here are the three golden rules you've got to live by. Number one, you must always work under supervision, no exceptions. Number two, your main job is to assist the team, helping with materials, site prep, the basics. And number three, the biggest one, you can never, ever go out and do work on your own. Let's just be absolutely clear about what supervision means. This isn't just a good idea or, a company policy. It is a straight-up, non-negotiable legal requirement. If you're not licensed, working without that direct oversight is actually against the law. And that brings us to this term, unlicensed activity. This one is so important because it makes it clear that even doing a small side job for a friend or a neighbor for cash is illegal. Anytime you offer electrical services to the public without a contractor's license, it's considered unlicensed activity. And trust me, the DDPR takes that very, very seriously. All right, let's do a quick recap of the biggest takeaways. Remember, this whole system exists for public safety. The contractor is the one who holds the license for the whole team. As an entry-level worker, you are a vital part of that team, but you are non-licensed. That means you always have to work under supervision, and any kind of side work on your own is illegal, period. So at the end of the day, knowing these rules is about more than just staying out of trouble. It's about developing a professional mindset. So the real question is, how are you going to use this knowledge to be a better, safer, and more valuable member of your team every single day? That's what it's all about.